Hi folks, Nine Toe Nelson here, and I am out on another good day. It's a little cloudy, but the temperatures are nice. They're in the 70s. Going to get up into the low to mid 80s, I think. But I am out on another road trip, day trip, to a place I actually haven't been to in quite a while. This one's out west again, right by the Mississippi practically, and it's a special place. It's got some great memories. As many of you know, I had a friend named Ashwin who unfortunately passed many years ago, much too young, while on a trip to North Carolina at the Tail of the Dragon. And he and I used to rather regularly travel out to this spot I'm going to today. In some ways the excuse was to have lunch. I don't know who travels 2.5, 3 hours for lunch, but again, it wasn't so much the destination as the ride. And it was always a good ride. He knew the back roads where we could have some fun, and he knew how to ride them. And it was always a blast. And of course, we would always end up at the same place for lunch. I'm going to take you guys there today. I'm also going to stop at a few other spots around there that we never really took the time to appreciate. Not that we didn't care for it. It's just that our goal back then was more the enjoyment of being on the bike. But today I want to make sure I get a fair look at a few things that I have not taken the time to appreciate, which I hope you guys will enjoy seeing. By the way, I got a couple different camera angles set up today. Let me know what you think about them in the comments. I'm always trying to find something that's more visually appealing for both you guys and me. And if you have any suggestions, let me know. Ding. It's kind of hazy today. Hopefully that won't have much impact on what my plans are. You know, being behind this semi here that is apparently hauling trash, from what my nose tells me, reminds me that you often hear the question, why do you ride? A lot of people don't get it, and that's okay. You don't have to get it, but when you do, you do, and you usually ride. Sometimes you are a passenger on the pillion seat in the back, or in the sidecar, or who knows, in some countries you're one of a few. But everyone's reason to ride isn't always the same. It all boils down, in my opinion, to a passion. You enjoy it to at least the smallest degree. There are people who ride because they have to, and what I mean by that is that it's their primary form of transportation because it's what their society, their economy allows for. In some countries and some societies, it's not easy to afford a car, or it's not practical to afford a car. It's not necessary to afford a car because the environment is accommodating to a motorcycle. Other options just aren't reasonable. Costs, the efforts, the energy. So those places, riding a motorcycle is the best choice. The other considerations, people ride to have a sense of freedom. I think that's what most people outside of the category I just mentioned have as a reason to ride. They enjoy it. They want to have fun. And how they go about it will vary as well. There are those who have a sense of identity that comes from riding, either as a solo individual or as a group. A sense of camaraderie when speaking of the group. You get those who ride in small groups, large groups, but they ride with someone else who also shares the same passion to the same degree at least. You see that a lot, and I think that's a good thing. Community is another reason. You don't have to be a group rider to have a sense of community with other riders. The motorcycle wave is something that has evolved from that sense of community, that sense of recognition that here's another person that appreciates this same thing, at the very least in the same way. I know that I like to ride on my own quite a bit. I also enjoy riding with others, but usually smaller groups. I find myself not enjoying a ride so much when it's a large group, because there's a lot of individuals in a large group and not everybody is always on the same page. It can cause problems, it can cause accidents, disagreements, frustration. But it's not always bad. When you ride with the same group for quite a while, you all get to know each other and how each other rides, and you will usually appreciate it for that reason. You know, I got to get around this thing. Here we go. So, there are other reasons people ride. As I said, necessity, camaraderie, sense of identity. Some people do it for a sense of freedom, a sense of escape. It's cathartic. It helps them relax, relieve stress. I'm one of those for sure. I love getting out, in particular on my own, and as I've said before, just getting zen with the environment, enjoying what's around me and appreciating it for what it presents. And there are those who ride for thrill, the rider who pushes the limits, the ones that enjoy the track, and unfortunately in some cases, sometimes the street. Wherever it is you choose to ride, you just need to make sure that you're doing it safely. That's one of my big things. Those that ride for thrill, best is to find a place where you can do so, which is safe for you and everyone else. But again, other reasons people ride: for the look, for the attention. It's to each their own. But I think it really all boils down to just the sense of pleasure that you receive, whether it's strictly for your ego, or if it's for the connections that you have, be it with others or your environment. As long as you're enjoying yourself, you're going to have an appreciation for getting out on two wheels. And I gotta say, I'm not going to overlook what I started this topic off with. I ride for necessity as well. I commute to work almost every day on two wheels in all season because I enjoy it so much. But there are times where I also do it because it's beneficial to my financial situation. It's cheaper to own and ride a motorcycle by comparison to a car. Of course, as long as you're not falling into the trap that many of us do of, ooh, that would be a great addition to my motorcycle, or ooh, I need the newest set of super sticky, super adaptive motorcycle tires. Or, ooh, that sticker will add 10 horsepower. Let me get that. It happens to all of us to some degree. And hey, why not? You have to enjoy it any way you can. So, yeah, if you're one of those who doesn't ride and have always wondered, why do people ride motorcycles? It's dangerous, it's uncomfortable, it's scary. I don't think you'll find many riders that would agree with you. And until you've tried it yourself and given it the opportunity that would really give you a fair opinion, don't assume. Go out, take a course, find yourself a cheap beginner bike, used. There's plenty out there. Honda Rebels are the most common. Kawasaki Ninja 250s. There's many. Suzuki just, no, I apologize. I think it's Kawasaki that just put out another quote-unquote beginner bike. They're out there, and they are great ways to start and, you know, take a step into the world of riding. You would definitely appreciate it if you at least gave it a try. Ding. I know I am more than happy that I've learned to ride, and I know that I'm going to keep riding as long as I can. With that in mind, let's keep moving here. Ding. What's up, brother? Nothing. No love. There we go. There's another reason that just came to mind that I forgot to mention as to why people ride. There are those who find it a challenge or create a challenge associated with it. Some people may find learning to ride a motorcycle as a challenge, and it is. You know, nobody's born with the innate knowledge and skill, and going through the effort and process of learning is certainly challenging to a slight degree. Certainly not impossible. I mean, I'm an idiot and I can do it. But beyond the process of learning, you may choose to challenge yourself beyond that in ways such as off-road riding, which is definitely a different skill. Competitive riding, doing races of all sorts, track, off-road, dirt, gymkhana, stunting, all forms of competitions out there on two wheels. Even slow races, rodeos, often organized by police to show off their skills in extremely challenging maneuvers and courses. So there's another big reason why people ride, learn to ride. And you might find that some of those people that do those challenging courses off-road on track don't ride to the street. They prefer to just stay in an enclosed, controlled environment that appeases their adrenaline. Nothing wrong with that. And there's the personal challenge of things like the Iron Butt challenges, where you commit yourself to riding a certain distance within a certain period of time. I've done that. It is fun. The planning, the execution, it's all very enjoyable, making that happen. I've done long distance rides. I may have mentioned in the past, I've ridden from Chicago to Los Angeles, actually Santa Monica, on Route 66, old Route 66, with this make and model motorcycle. That was a true challenge. That was back before the GPS was, I would say, perfected. You know, back before things like Waze, smartphones with the capabilities that ours have now. Wi-Fi was still relatively new. For me, that was, you know, it was challenging. I was using paper maps. I was utilizing the technology I had available to the best of my ability, which at that time was a handheld PDA. It was Palm Pilot. And I had a Motorola Razr for a cell phone. So, you know, it was certainly not as simple for the purpose of navigation as it is now. That made it fun. That was part of the challenge. Long distance riding is always going to be a challenge. And when I say long distance, I mean hundreds of miles in a day. And for the point of getting from point A to point B, not necessarily quickly, not a cannonball run, but certainly efficiently, safely, and enjoying your environment at the same time. I think another common reason people ride is the escapism. Get away from the rigmarole of your daily routine, to get away from the stressors that you may have in your life. Give yourself some time to relax and be serene. It's when riding alone, I think, really pays off. Nothing and no one to worry about other than to keep yourself moving and get to your destination. I know I enjoy that a great deal. That's why I'm doing this ride today. Go and enjoy myself out on the open road. Nothing and no one to worry about. And of course to enjoy my destination, but the ride is definitely the primary reason. Hey folks, real quick, want to say again to all of my subscribers, thank you so much for doing so. I appreciate the fact that you appreciate what I have to provide, and it makes a big difference. It really does motivate me, keeps me going, working on new ideas and new videos for you guys. And for those of you who haven't subscribed, please do. Obviously you appreciate my channel enough to take a look at what I have to offer, and I'm trying to put a lot out there, and there's a lot there to see. As I said, it motivates me to do more, and it will help me be able to do more. So click the button, click the like button, hit the bell for notifications, and you can always be sure to come back and be notified when to come back. I would appreciate that a great deal, and I'll say in advance thank you. It's getting cloudy. So this is it, folks. Galena, Illinois. A very historic town. A lot of things have happened here, and if you're into the Civil War era of history, probably well aware of a good deal of that. And now this town is very appealing to tourists of history, as well as a beautiful atmosphere. Antique buildings right along the river in a river valley. A lot of nice shops and restaurants and very interesting things to see. It's been quite a while since I've been here. I've forgotten how much I appreciate it. So guys, I made it. This is the place that my buddy Ashwin and I would ride to as often as we could, whenever we could. And I gotta say, we've got some good memories here. It's a beautiful place, historic location. It's part of the Soto House Hotel, which was associated directly with Grant, and this part's called the Green Street Tavern. It is a nice place. It hasn't changed from what I can recall, and it's certainly still got the same atmosphere that it did last time I was here, which was many years ago. Nonetheless, if you ever have a chance to stop by here in Galena and are looking for a nice place to eat with a good menu, this is a good spot. I definitely would recommend it. All right, folks, back on the bike. I'm heading to one more spot. This is a spot I've not been to before, and heard about it. Thought that it would be a real nice place to stop at and check out. So on this very hot day, let's head on over there and see what it's all about. So this place I'm heading to now is called Horseshoe Mound. Didn't stop to figure out why horseshoe, but I'm assuming it's a mound. And I'm told that you can see 3 states from the top of this, that being Wisconsin, Illinois, and Iowa. So I'm gonna head up there and see what it's about. I think this is the first dirt road you guys have seen me travel on. I can't remember being on another one in the last year or so, so this has got to be it. I'll tell you, dirt roads on a sport bike are interesting. You can feel the bike kind of drift depending on the density of the gravel or dirt, the looseness of it. This isn't too bad, but certainly not something that would be dragging a knee on intentionally. That wasn't long-lived. All right. Guess this is the parking area. Oh wow, this is amazing. All right, folks. Whew. It's been a long half of the day, and I am sweating bullets, and I've got 2.5 hours to get home. I should make it home about a half hour before I told my wife I would be, which is perfect. She'll be pleased, pleasantly surprised, and I'll have a half hour to take a shower. This kind of reminds me of North Carolina right here. The way the foliage grows, the way the houses are set up, industry and so forth. You could pluck this up and drop it right in the middle of the mountains, and you wouldn't know the difference. Alright folks, there was one other thing I was looking forward to showing you that we're going to have to save for the next trip, and that is this building up here on the left, which is Ulysses S. Grant's home. Certainly an antique and a relic with a lot of history. Try and check it out in the future. Another excuse to come back out here. Alright guys, here we go back on the road, heading home. Let's see how enjoyable this might be. There's less cloud cover, more heat, more traffic, and one less camera. That was a fun trip. Heading over here to Galena. Like I said, it's been quite a while. It was nice to reminisce and see some of the sights I hadn't seen before. Obviously there's going to be opportunity and reason to come back in the future. This is going to be a long trip home, just like it was a long trip here, but it's not so bad. So for the things that we missed today, we'll get them again in the future. I hope you did enjoy what I captured today and was able to share. If you liked it, please hit the like button. If you are already subscribed, thank you very much. If you haven't subscribed yet, please do. And don't forget, subscribed or not, hit the notification bell. That way you'll be notified of all of my upcoming videos, and it'll give you a chance to enjoy those the way you enjoyed this one. So until next time, I'm gonna end this one as I always do. Don't forget to ride safe, ride smart, and have fun. Bye.